Introducing Laserlink and the beginning of a new era in telecommunications. The coming of the age of light. Just as the telegraph conquered distance and then the telephone displaced the telegraph, we are on the threshold of a new world. Today's technology and inventions enable cities like Melbourne and Sydney to be linked by a thin glass strand that takes only 1/10 of a litre of silicon to make and uses only 1,000th of the power previously needed. For Telecom Australia, the challenge has been to provide the communications highways. And quietly, without fanfare, it has almost completed the rewiring of the nation with 800,000 kilometres of optical fibre. A $700 million achievement that ranks with the building of the Snowy River Scheme or the Sydney Opera House. Now comes the last connection, Telecom's Laserlink, carrying the optical fibre revolution right into our homes and offices. Already, the new network and Laserlink are delivering faster, clearer calls throughout Australia. For big business, research and the professions, low-cost, high-speed data transmission and access to global information and advice on a scale once thought impossible. Now, Telecom is testing the services which Laserlink makes possible in homes in Melbourne and Sydney suburbs. Soon, new benefits will come right into the living room, opening up new worlds for all of us. Telecom Laserlink will move high-resolution colour images directly into your home. The arrival of brilliant big-screen images with the highest fidelity sound. It opens the way for entertainment television from scores of channels.
Look, honey, what I've
Before too long, it will bring us high-quality video phones.
Well, Graham, there are various species, as you know.
Educators and students will talk to one another and share almost unlimited access to visual images and ideas.
From your video catalogue, press a selection.
Shoppers will browse at home, and sellers respond at the touch of the buyer's command button.
Hi, Bill. John, you did this operation 2 weeks ago.
The finest doctors and specialists will consult, diagnose and advise from a world away.
I mean, I would prefer to keep him here.
Laserlink, and everything it makes possible, is transforming the world of telecommunications, even more dramatically than when the telephone took over from the telegraph. Of course, Telecom runs no universities, supermarkets or cinemas, though it may provide some of the services the new Laserlink network will carry. Telecom's main role is to be the facilitator and the carrier. How soon will the new world of services come into our homes? That will depend on public demand and on entrepreneurs, educators, retailers and information providers. But the news and entertainment industries will probably lead the way. For the rest of the world, what has been happening in Australia is of extraordinary interest. Now, other countries are turning to us for advice. But at home, the story of Telecom's pioneering work in optical fibre networking and Laserlink technology is still little known. What is Laserlink? Well, the picture tells one part of the story. Here's a piece of silica glass as fine as a strand of merino wool. And here, for comparison, is a length of the more familiar copper cable. That thin piece of optic fibre is capable of transmission rates of up to at least 2,500 million bits of information per second. That's enough to carry 30,000 two-way telephone conversations. The first laser, a hugely powerful light beam, was demonstrated as recently as 1960. Within a very short time, lasers were being used for an astonishing range of purposes. For critical blood tests, the cutting of precious stones, very fine precision design work, and the creation of three-dimensional pictures. It's the laser which lies behind today's optical fibre revolution, behind Laserlink. Information of various kinds, from the human voice to complex data, is transmitted as digital pulses of light. Those pulses are created by turning the light source on and off at quite astonishing speeds, millions of times a second. The lasers are as safe as they are powerful. Their light dissipates harmlessly, even if a cable is dug up. The light flashes are picked up by a photodetector and turned back into electrical signals which simulate the original sound. Formidable obstacles had to be overcome by Australia's telecommunications engineers. For example, how to prevent the intensity of light from dropping to an unacceptable level as it travelled through kilometres of optical fibre. Or how to splice lengths of optical fibre cable in the field, in some of the most daunting terrain in the world. Above all, how to ensure the complete reliability of such a high-performing network. From basic research to cable splicing and laying, Telecom is now recognised as a world leader. For the last 5 years, as it linked Australia's capitals, Telecom's orders of optical fibre and cable from Australian manufacturers have been worth $100 million a year, and a lot of jobs. By 1990, a new set of telecommunications highways had been built around Australia, ready to carry volumes of traffic which could never have been dreamt of before. Of course, the first users were the larger corporations. The major banks alone complete well over 1 billion transactions per year. Optical fibre makes that possible, more quickly, more cheaply, more reliably. The auto industry carries out almost all of its transactions by telecommunications, not on paper. One of the many benefits is that inventories can be kept lower. This means lower costs to the manufacturer and lower car prices too. The benefits spread down the line. Legal firms can carry out title searches in a matter of minutes, when previously they could take weeks. The technology we need for home banking already exists. No more need for a special trip to the bank to check your current balance, or put yourself in funds, or get an annual interest printout for your tax return. And very soon, immediate check clearance, saving time and occasional embarrassment.
What will it be like to use Laserlink? Let's look at home shopping. When the first big supermarket chain agrees to be a service supplier through Laserlink, you could go through illustrated lists of the products available, with today's prices marked, or you could be taken through the aisles one by one, compiling your shopping list as you go. If the total value shown at the end was more than you wanted to spend, you'd simply have to strike out a few items and then fix the delivery time. Of course, we're not only talking about supermarkets. It doesn't matter what you want to buy. Laserlink will let you see first, then buy later. Even a car, full inspection, then you decide whether you want the car to be brought to you for a test drive. Then there's television itself. Laserlink delivers superb quality sound and vivid high-definition pictures, realism and impact previously available only in the cinema. And imagine, if you love great music, being able to sit in your favourite armchair and call up an audition of the latest CDs before you decide to buy. A perfect signal through your own equipment. If a service provider comes forward, you'll be able to call up the film of your choice from a vast list at any hour of the day or night. You'll be able to choose by category, by star, or you might even read a review or synopsis before you decide. Now let's suppose an architecture student has been injured and is forced to study from home for a while. His project is international art centres. What can Laserlink do for him? Well, there'll be a huge international database and he'll be able to consult it interactively. That means he'll be able to ask more and more detailed questions progressively until he has all the information he needs. But will Laserlink be affordable? Well, you only have to think back a few years to the size and the cost of computers. Once beyond the reach of nearly all of us. Now they're almost a household item, delivering 10 times the power for a tenth of the early price. Or to the 50s, when hardly anyone dreamed just how much television would change the way we spend so many leisure hours. Now, just as surely, here comes Laserlink. Not a miracle, but the product of years of patient research. The product of a large amount of money. Your money, because you own Telecom. It's your dividend in the age of light.